The other day was playing some Magic Arena and I broke the game by making billions of balloons. And today I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. So what is the plan of our Jolly Ratadrabik balloon combo deck for Standard? And we are trying to combine the Jolly Balloon Man, this new Duksmourn 3-drop that for 1 mana can tap and make a 1/1 red balloon flying and hasty token copy of another creature we control that sacrifices on the next end step with Ratadrabik of Urborg. These two cards work really well together because Ratadrabik's ability is when a legendary creature we control dies, we create a token that's a non-legendary 2/2 black zombie token copy of it. So the synergy is this: if we get down Jolly Balloon Man and Ratadrabik, we can use Jolly Balloon Man to copy Ratadrabik, because Jolly Balloon Man doesn't say copy a non-legendary creature, so we copy the Ratadrabik. Now we have two legendary Ratadrabiks, the original and this new legendary 1/1 balloon token copy of it. We can sacrifice one of those, which will trigger Ratadrabik's ability, because a legend just died, and now we'll get a 2/2 black zombie token copy of Ratadrabik, and then it snowballs from there, because now we have two Ratadrabik, so next time we Jolly Balloon Man, each Ratadrabik is going to trigger when a legend dies, and it just gets out of control super fast. If we have a Relic of Legends to make mana, we can actually go fully infinite if we have two Jolly Balloon Mans. We need two Jolly Balloon Mans because it can't copy itself, but if we have Relic of Legends, we can use a Jolly Balloon Man, a legend rule with the Ratadrabik to get a non-legendary copy of the Jolly Balloon Man. Then we can copy the legendary copy. We can legend rule away the tapped copy and keep the untapped copy, which then we can tap to Relic of Legends to make a mana to activate the new Jolly Balloon Man, to do it again and do it again and make an infinite number of hasty balloons to win the game on the spot. We also have Mondrak Glory Dominus, which just puts everything into overdrive by doubling up our tokens. Remember talking about, like, we make a Ratadrabik and then next time we legend rule, we get two Ratadrabiks. Everything just gets doubled when we have Mondrak out. Plus Mondrak is a sneaky backup sacrifice outlet. We sometimes have games where we like tap our Jolly Balloon Man to copy something and we want more Jolly Balloon Man activation, so we can use Mondrak to sacrifice the Jolly Balloon Man to get some untapped token copies with Ratadrabik, which then copy more things to keep the fun going. We also have, for win conditions, things that drain as creatures die or when tokens enter. So LSL Core, whenever one of our creatures die, our opponent loses a life. A Kemble, whenever a token enters, we drain for 1. Funeral Room, really cool. It's like a Blood Artist room, but then Awakening Hall, the expensive side, just reanimates all of our creatures. So this we can play as a finisher, and as we're like sacrificing our things and our stuff is dying on our end step, our Jolly Balloon Man tokens, we just drain our opponent out of the game. Or if our opponent has a lot of removal and kills all of our stuff, we can eventually use Awakening Hall to just reanimate all of our stuff and then combo off and win. Otherwise, we have Bart as a backup sack outlet, Delney just kind of for value, Zoraline to get back our combo pieces that die, Shrew and Hazoret to dig for combo pieces through our deck, Lauren Get Lost, Starfall Invocation is removal. Mana base, the only real notable land is Plaza of Heroes, which is good mana fixing since all of our creatures are legendary, plus it's a way we can maybe protect a legend with its last ability. Otherwise, it's a bunch of fast lands and pain lands and verges and surveil lands and fabled passage and basic lands. As far as the sideboard, for control we have some Duresses and a Kenris Royal Funeral to draw some cards, a bunch of removal and sweepers for aggro, more Laurens for artifacts and enchantments, Leyline of the Void for graveyard decks, and that is Jolly Ratadrabik balloon combo. That's our deck for today. Let's jump into some games and see if we can make an infinite-ish number of balloons, billions and billions of balloons, or do we just break arena? Let's find out. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap-up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Against odds time, we are playing some Jolly Ratadrabik, some Ratadrabik Jolly Balloon Man combo. In this hand, we need another land, but this hand's pretty good. If we get a land, we get to the Relic of Legends. We have some 2-drops that we can play in the meantime. Opponent appears to be grueling. All right, opponent. Well, thankfully, they did not play a 1-drop, so it's probably not prowess. Oh, Junding, eh? Tender Wild Guide. All right, so probably some sort of Jund mid-range deck. Well, there's our room. It's going to be a while till that's good, but let's play the LSL Core. Get that down to start gaining some life. Also, the Death Touch is nice. If our opponent is ramping into big monsters, good way to take down a, I don't know, Carnosaur or something. About it. Ugh, Virtue of Persistence. All right, land. Land. Please. Please. All right, well, I guess it's part time. If we draw that land next turn, we might still be okay. The Relic of Legends is worth multiple lands if it sticks. Opponent's growing the Wild Guide. So it's worth multiple lands if it sticks, which means as long as we get it down, we can hopefully catch back up. Opponent surveils away a forest, and Sheoldred. Oh god, still not a land. Well, yeah, a little dead. That did not go exactly the way we hoped. But there's one thing I know about Standard, and that is, if your opponent plays a Sheoldred and you can't deal with it, and you only got 2 lands and you can't cast anything, you're dead. All right, let's try it again. Try it again, but this time, drawing land number 3. I don't think that was a greedy keep. I think that's a keep that I would keep every time. I mean, we have 2 lands and the relic, so all we need is 1 land in the first, 3 turns. So I think that's just kind of the low roll. Well, let's start with Elegant Pollard. This hand, we got lots of removal, so we're not just going to die to a Sheoldred. That's nice. Druin Hazoret could do some work once we get to it. And Mondrak is a combo piece. Do we want to just thin the deck, or should we leave up a Get Lost? What are we killing? Bat, but we have a second Get Lost anyway. Yeah, let's just play the Battlefield Fjorge and pass the turn. Opponent swamp and passes. Plaza go. We actually kind of want our opponent to play something this turn so we can kill it. And then we can start playing threats next turn. Opponent gonna do some surveilling. Leaves it on top. Do we even run out of Mondrak? I feel like we just run out Mondrak and they just go for the throat it and then we cry. Yeah, let's just pass. I don't think our opponent's not pressuring us. Maybe we make them make the first move. All right, there's a Sheoldred. Well, that will die. We do have answers in the deck. We just didn't draw them game 1. Get Lost Sheoldred. And let's thin the deck. So Druin Hazoret, to have haste, we need 1 or fewer cards in hand, which we are not especially close to. Even more lands. Do we keep waiting? I mean, I guess if we draw enough lands, we can play something and leave up Plaza of Heroes to protect it. And the infamous Cruel Claw. Well, if our opponent goes to crack a map, I think we just kill Cruel Claw. We probably can't have that live. That is super risky, especially with Menace. We can't even play a blocker and hope to stop it that way. About it. Are we mapping? All right, little cartography. Well, Get Lost, Cruel Claw. These Get Lost have been very good. There's a Relic. It's even more mana. I guess we, as good as Relic is in this deck, we don't technically really need Relic mana right now. Although, I think we're going to play it. We're going to play this as slow as possible. They're Golgari, they're Jund, they gotta have a bunch of removal in hand, right? They have to. What else are they doing with their lives if they're not holding a bunch of removal in their Jund deck? Hey, Veroshka. Okay, that's gonna make us do things. About it. Proliferates. So that is a removal spell on a stick. Oh, so we can play Ratadrabik and leave up the Plaza? And then hopefully next turn, Hasty Druin Hazoret, I think is the idea. Getting out Ratadrabik first is nice. That also opens up the insane Balloon Man draw. And it has Ward, so at least it's annoying for our opponent to try to kill. Plus we have the Plaza for protection. I mean, usually when someone plays Ratadrabik, you have to expect something. They're trying to do something scary, right? It's not a card that people play just for value too often. Like, if you're playing Ratadrabik, you're trying to do something ridiculous. Leaves it on top. So, yeah, you can see them hover the Plaza of Heroes. So our opponent knows if they try to kill it, we can protect it. I guess that's the upside of flooding out, is we have so many lands. We can play 4 drops and leave up 4 mana. Opponent draws with Veroshka. I think this is our turn to try to do things. Hopefully they don't have go for the throats, but I mean, we have to pressure this Veroshka somehow. All right, there's a land that is good, so play the land, play the Mondrak. Yeah, I mean, we got to do it. This means we're not leaving up the Plaza, which means they could just Doomblade us into oblivion, and now we can spin it to win it with our Druin Hazoret, and I think we kill Veroshka. Like, if we combo, we are going to win this game in a huge way. I don't know, second Ratadrabik's pretty good. Legend ruling away with Mondrak on the battlefield's not the worst. We still need to find a Balloon Man, though. Does our opponent have removal? I guess they could make a chump blocking fish, so they can defend this Veroshka if they want to. Oh, they're gonna reanimate Sheoldred. Okay. That is annoying. We would have liked to Legend Rule, but we do have a backup. Play the Ratadrabik. Pass the turn. We need a Balloon Man. We need a Balloon Man. Our Ratadrabik's not jolly enough. That is a problem. It's just a normal Ratadrabik, not a jolly Ratadrabik. Not it. Veroshka. Gonna go up the Druin Hazoret. All right, so I think what we do here... Oh, so we lose our Ratadrabik again? That's so annoying. We can We can sack. So I think we tap. We use Mondrak. We want to keep this Druid Hazoret, right? So we use Mondrak. We'll pay 2. We'll leave the Mondrak untapped for blocking. Sack. So we'll get 2 token copies. We lose a Ratadrabik, sadly, but we get 2 token copies of the Druid Hazoret, and now a indestructible Mondrak. And we fizzle the Vraska. So now, oh man, these Druid Hazorets could do Opponent Voltborn Tyrant. All right. Well, Druid Hazoret, find us a combo. Please. Come on, deck. Something good. Ratadrabik or Balloon Man. Those are the pieces. Or, oh, the room that reanimates everything would be pretty good. Okay, that's a Balloon Man. So what does this mean? But we lost a Ratadrabik. Okay, we can play the Balloon Man, copy the Druid Hazoret, get 2 copies because of Mondrak. They're non-legendary because of Ratadrabik. And now we get 4 Druid Hazoret triggers? Okay, that's pretty good. We are like building our own legendary Winota here. 1, 2, actually 3. We do want to kill the Vraska, but we only need to send 1. They're tapped out. All right. Well, spin it to win it. We should be able to hit something good here, right? All right, 6 cards deep for a legend. We find Chemball. That's our finisher, one of our finishers. We do need a Ratadrabik. Let's take a Bart, so we have a sack outlet. There it is. There's the Ratadrabik. Okay, we should be able to win now. We should be able to win. So, take a second blue. Oh, this is going to be so sweet. Opponent can block, sure, whatever. We don't really care. We should just win the game here. So Vraska down, opponent 24. So first off, Chemball. So tokens drain. Next up, Bart. So we have a sack outlet. Next up, Ratadrabik. Finally, second Jolly Balloon Man. Legend roll away the first. Get a couple token copies. Jolly Balloon Man. Oh, this is going to get wild. So we get 2 token legendary Mondraks that are going to legend rule away, which is going to make 10 more Mondraks. Now we will copy the Mondrak, and this is where the fun begins. Okay, so I don't even know. This is too big brain for me, but we're going to make a lot of Mondraks. Wait, do we just token limit? Oh no, do we break Arena? This is taking a long time. Arena. Come on. Ooh. Wow! Wow, I can't believe that worked. I've never seen that before. Oh my god. How did Arena not? All right, that's 99 red balloons. And even more, that's like token limit red balloons. They're all legendary, so they're all gonna sacrifice. Oh my god. Oh, so they're all gonna trigger Ratadrabik. And then we just win with the Chemball triggers, because the token's gonna enter 1 by 1 thanks to Ratadrabik. Oh no, this is like billions of balloons. We made like 1 billion balloons. Maybe more than that. The number is, give me the number in the comments if you know. I don't want to math it out, but if it wasn't for the token limit, my god. I mean, somehow it worked with all those Mondraks, which blew my mind. I've never seen Arena do. Oh, wait. Oh, Gree error. I hate Gree. Oh, it's working. Oh no. It's working, but it's a draw. Well, that was a win. Just a too powerful win for Arena to handle against the odds time. We are trying to make all the balloons in the world. Also, see if we can avoid breaking Arena. Can we actually win with this deck is the question. Or does this deck just, if when we do the thing, does it just draw the game? Ooh, Island, okay. Well, let's play a Shadowy Backstreet. This hand, we got the Ratadrabik, and I do like Funeral Room. The Master Animation can be really good in the late game. Was our opponent playing Mono Blue Tempo? Are they playing our budget deck? Well, let's play Delny. Boot it. Flood Pit Drowner. Okay, this might actually be our budget magic deck. There's a decent chance this is actually the budget magic deck. Opponent, Island, and gonna head us down to 18, sure. And wow, they're gonna tuck the Delny. Okay, that's aggressive. Well, this gives us a window to get down. Do we want the room? I think the Ratadrabik's better. Let's get down the Ratadrabik. I guess Downey's a scary card. Downey's actually not that scary in our deck. It's like a cool bonus if we combo, but it actually doesn't do that much, honestly. It's kind of a flex slot. I don't even know, though, with how that last combo went, I don't even know if we need the combo to be more spectacular. Like, do we actually need Downey to double things up? We might not. Well, hit you with a Ratadrabik down is 17. And let's play the Fabled Passage. I really wanted to get some Caverns in this deck for counterspell matchups. Turns out, though, our creatures are pretty much all different types. I think we have like 2 Phyrexians or something, but the types are so split up that it didn't seem worth it. Fear of Imposters, gonna stop the LSL core, sure. At least we get to, ooh, wow, I think our opponent upgraded us. Honestly, I would rather have a face down Mondrak than a face up LSL core. Get down the room? The room is more efficient. But the sack outlet's actually better, because now we can flip up the Mondrak and start doing sacrifice things next turn. And then we still have the room. One of the things about the room in this deck, it can be a finisher with the combo, the 3 mana side, but, all right, into the Floodmaw, sure. But I also like slow rolling it to get to 8 mana, which is realistic with Relic of Legends, just to like mass reanimate. Best against like control-y decks. They don't have Sunfall, but decks that just kill a lot of our stuff. Well, let's play the Battlefield Fjorge and run out the Bart again. See if our opponent counters it. I don't know if Bart's even really that threatening. I mean, all right, opponent's going 3 steps ahead. I don't know if our opponent would think it's that threatening. We know, because we know we have a face down Mondrak. Yeah, let's get this down now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're 1 mana short from activating the other side, but we'll get there eventually. Flipping up the Mondrak doesn't do a ton at the moment. If we get to 8 lands, we might just mass reanimate. It might just be worth. Even for just a sack outlet in the LSL core, especially if you flip up the Mondrak, that might be enough. Opponent. Into the Floodmaw. All right. I mean, that's fine. Opponent has a hand that doesn't seem to have card draw, which is working in our favor. Ooh, wow, that's Jolly Balloon Man. Well, okay, let's play the land. I think we just pass. Flip up the Mondrak. And then in our dream world, our opponent taps down, and we play the Jolly Balloon Man and do really cool things. Bound at combat. That's good. Oh, come on. Enduring Curiosity? You gotta draw that card. Oh, all right. Well, we're gonna flip the Mondrak either way. Untap. I don't know if we go for it. We know this deck, and we know the whole point is to play a million counters. I guess we could try to, like, bait with the room? I mean, now that we have 8 mana, that room has to be kind of scary, right? Like, if we just reanimate our stuff, that's probably bad for our opponent. We could also just pass. The problem is all their stuff has flash. Yeah, let's Funeral Room. See if our opponent takes the bait and counters it. They gotta be worried about the 8 mana mode. They gotta be. Counters it, but with negate, so they still have 2 mana up. Opponent's got 3 cards in hand. Like, if we resolve the Jolly Balloon Man, we do. Oh, it's going to be so sweet. But can we resolve the Jolly Balloon Man? That is a question. Come on. Oh, there it is. Sure. Enduring Curiosity. Opponent finally feels like they've been missing land drops. So they feel like they need to hit their land drop. So they flash in the Enduring Curiosity. They do find their land drop. The bad news for our opponent is the coast is clear for the Jolly Balloon Man, and this should be pretty good. So we Jolly Balloon Man, copy the Ratadrabik. Do we want a real Ratadrabik or a flying balloon Ratadrabik? They're all legendary. Let's keep a balloon Ratadrabik. Everything else dies. Now, hidden mode on Mondrak, it is also a sack outlet. So Mondrak, sacrifice the Jolly Balloon Man, so we get untapped copies of it, and also the fish. So now we get a lot of Jolly Balloon Men, because that's a lot of Ratadrabiks, and each one's going to double. All right, 18 Jolly Balloon Men. Now, to finish the game, all we need to do is, I guess, technically attack, but that's way too simple for us. Why would we attack when we can copy a Ratadrabik and make more balloons? All right, more legendary Ratadrabiks. They die. Uh-oh. Wait, this isn't even that insane, right? This isn't that insane. We have a single Mondrak. I guess we have 9 Ratadrabiks. No, this doesn't break Arena, does it? Oh no! Arena's poor brain. We could have just attacked. But how do we resist making 99 red balloons? Boat it. In this case, the opponent is Arena. Oh, the red around the porter. That That's not good. I feel like that's a sign that Arena's brain is not working properly. This shouldn't break Arena, right? This doesn't even seem that absurd. I could see last game. That was over the top. I totally get Arena breaking there. This one, though, this isn't that ridiculous, is it? I don't know. Maybe it's more ridiculous than I realize. Because we only have one Mondrak. Okay. Oh! Arena. I kind of blame Arena for this one. That wasn't even anything. We made like 40 some Ratadrabiks. That's not even that much. We weren't even near the token limit. I mean, we would have won that game. We could have won by just attacking. I didn't think that would break Arena, but apparently it does. We are playing some Jolly Ratadrabik in Standard. And the sand, we got some Jolly. We got some, oh god, oh dear. Well, might be a quick one. We'll keep the Ratadrabik because that's our plan, but double Leyline of Resonance. Oh god, are we seeing the turn 2 kill on camera? We have a death touching chump blocker. That should keep us safe, right? Wait, are we dead on? This is not acceptable for Standard. I think Wizard's gonna have to ban this guy. Okay, turn inside out ×2. Pump it. We have a blocker though, right? So we should be fine. And the fling? Are you serious? Our opponent just 20'd us on turn 2 through a death touching blocker without even attacking. There's no way. There is no way this should be a thing in Standard. What was Wizards thinking? What was Wizards thinking when they printed Leyline of Resonance? What are we supposed to do about that? What are we supposed to do? I think we performed responsibly. We were on the play even. We got down a 2-drop that could stop our opponent's 1-drop, but it just didn't matter. I guess we can bring in some more removal, some temporary lockdowns. The funny thing is temporary lockdown, it doesn't come down till turn 3. Like, if we're dying on turn 2, temporary lockdown is too slow. I can't believe I'm uttering those words about Standard. The temporary lockdown might be too slow against mono red, but Leyline is a messed up Magic card. My god. Well, we're going to play first. Okay, we got the temporary lockdown. We got the get lost. I mean, this is, as far as our deck, there's a Leyline. I mean, we can get lost to Leyline. As far as our deck goes, this is about as good of a hand as we can hope for against mono red. Opponent has the Heartfire hero. Well, I don't want to do this. I don't want to give our opponent the maps to go with their Heartfire hero, but we have to kill the Leyline or else we could just die. As we saw in game number 1 on turn 2, Wizards. I was about to say a little fair. I mean, I guess it's a little fair. Do they have the fling in hand? If they, oh my god, wow. We were dead, right? if that Leyline stuck, I think we were dead. Again, on turn 2, but we had to get lost for the Leyline. Well, I mean, I guess we temporary lockdown. We're at 4. We're at 4. How is this happening? Opponent. Monastery Swift Spear. You gotta be kidding. Are we dead on? Wow, we're dead on turn 3. Well, if there was ever an example of why I think that deck is kind of a problem in Standard, I think that match is it. We even had the interaction. It did not matter. My god. My god. Can we actually finish a game with this deck? So far, we either end up drawing the game because our balloons are just too mighty for Arena's brain, or we die on turn 2 to mono red. Or Gruul, technically, but still. Leyline of Resonance. Well, this hand I kind of like. We got the Ratadrabik. We have a Relic, which is nice. The fullest, most infinite version of the combo, which I don't know if it'll ever actually happen, does involve Relic. Thankfully, you don't really need to go infinite for this deck to just break Arena. Opponent going to get lost, our 2-drop. Sure. Opponent, survey a land. Well, I mean, we can play the Relic, I guess. Could also just run out the Bart and play the Survey a land. Is that better? Yeah, let's just play Bart. I don't know what that, this could be like a Bant control deck. I really would like the Relic to not get countered. Elegant Parlor and Mill of the Plaza. What do you got, friend? Temporary, well, okay, there goes all of our maps and our Bart. Oh, all right, jerk. All right, well, let's, I mean, I think opponent plays a Fabled Passage. I think we just, now I'm worried about Sunfall. Sunfall is a nightmare for our deck. We have plans for getting our stuff back from the graveyard, Those plans do not work through a Sunfall, though. Sunfall is the nightmare card. Well, let's get down the LSL core and the Relic. Set up for the future. Found it. Fabled Passage. And gonna crack it. Oh, red man. Oh, maybe this is just domain. I guess I should have assumed this was domain instead of who plays Bat Control. I was thinking it was some brew, but no, it looks like domain. Well, did correctly identify the Sunfall at least. Let's play the Plaza. Druin Hazoret so much better with haste. Let's play Ratadrabik. Get down, old Ratadrabik. No Balloon Man yet. Hopefully our opponent does not have a second Sunfall. That would be not good. Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Gonna do a little ramping. See, there's the room that can reanimate everything. It just doesn't work through Sunfalls. Well, play the Mondrak to go with the Ratadrabik. Technically, we can use Plaza for protection, so we're not gonna play the room here. We're gonna wait. All right, up the Beanstalk. The upside of playing the room, I guess, is it does increase the odds of a hasty Druin Hazoret attack, but about it. Gonna get in, do a little rampant, make an everywhere land. Gonna play a Lush Portico. If we draw land, hasty Druin Hazoret would be nice. All right, well, there's the land. I mean, let's do it. Druin Hazoret coming down with haste and vigilance. I guess we just attack with everything, give him some damage. Well, there's Jolly Balloon Man. We could take Lauren and just, like, blow up the Overlord. That's way less fun, though. We can't pass up Jolly Balloon Man. Like, that's the whole reason we're playing this deck, and we have a really good setup for it. Opponent's gonna incubate. We have the Mondrak, the Ratadrabik, and the Relic of Legends. We should be able to do some things. The only problem is, wow, we don't have, All right, let's think about this. 1, 2, 3. So we played Jolly Balloon Man. 1 to activate that. Tap the Ratadrabik. Yeah, we're 1 mana short from being able to play the Blood Artist room. Or else I think we just win here. So copy Ratadrabik, get 2 legendary token balloon Ratadrabiks, sack the Ratadrabiks, keep a balloon Ratadrabik, get some more Ratadrabiks. And now, so we need to use Mondrak as a sack outlet, right? Man, I wish we could get down this room so we can just win the game potentially as stuff dies. One mana short. So let's Mondrak, pay 4. Actually, let's do this properly. Let's tap the Druin Hazoret. Pay 4. Sack. So get some Druin Hazorets. Get a few Jolly Balloon Men. But we can't actually win because we hit the... If we were doing this pre-combat, we just attack with all these hasty things, hasty balloons, and win the game. The problem is because we hit the Jolly Balloon Man off the Druin Hazoret income. Wow, 16 Druin Hazorets. Next turn, we just put our deck into play, don't we? I mean, I don't think there's any reason to do anything else. I think we get some more Ratadrabiks here, right? The original sacrifices. That's going to make a few more Ratadrabiks. Well, next turn's going to be good. Next turn's going to be... gonna be good. We're 1 mana short of getting down the room too. We have enough Druin Hazorets to put our entire deck, every legend in our deck into play, I believe. We're very close to it. Indestructible Mondrak, 30-ish Ratadrabiks, and a whole bunch of Jolly Balloon Men. Your go, vote it. Your go. Can you beat it? Going to stay aggressive. Get it with the Overlord of the Hauntwoods. I think we have blockers here, perhaps. I really don't know if it matters. Let's block with a few Ratadrabiks. We have Ratadrabiks for days. Ratadrabiks to spare. I mean, they need a Wrath, right? They need a Wrath or they are dead. Also, Temporary Lockdown doesn't work because tokens keep their mana values, so they're 3s and 4s and 5s. Maybe they... Oh no. Oh no. Sunfall. Oh, that is going to be the biggest incubate of all time. Yeah, Indestructible Mondrak. Sunfall don't care. 30 Ratadrabik. Sunfall don't care. That is a, wow, that is a 58 powered incubate. I kind of hate Sunfall. Sunfall is so good against our deck. The sad thing is, if it was another Wrath that wasn't Sunfall, we'd be able to use this room potentially next turn to get a bunch of stuff back. Do we use Zorline this turn? Probably. Yeah, let's Zorline back a LSL core. We just need to make sure we have a blocker for this huge incubate. Like this Oh, are we gonna die? Well, I mean, if our opponent can just kill this LSL core, I am pretty sure we die to the biggest Sunfall incubate in the history of Magic. Well, I guess that's the downside of making 30 Ratadrabiks and a bunch of Jolly Balloon Men, is they all turn into counters on an incubate token. That was such a cool turn. If only we had the Balloon Man pre-combat, none of this would have happened. Opponent combat. Wait, does this work? We have successfully killed a 58 power incubate. The problem is our opponent's got a bunch of cards in hand, and we do not. Heard my great Sean. We draw land. I mean, so we can reanimate, but does that even... Shruin, well, that's pretty good. It's not a full combo or anything. So we get a Shruin Hazoret, we get a Ratadrabik, we get a Jolly Balloon Man. Tap the Ratadrabik. Jolly Balloon Man. Copy the Shruin Hazoret. We don't have a Mondrak this time. We'll keep the original. We'll get a copy. Well, swing and swing. Gotta find something good. Gotta find something good. Well, that is a Mondrak. That I think counts as something good. Are we gonna end up in the same position where we're comboing post-combat and get Sunfault? I mean, we gotta take the Mondrak. LSL core would be not, well, okay. About it. I mean, blocking and killing this doesn't really matter to us because we have the Ratadrabik, so it's all gonna come back anyway. Opponent, everything in front of the ground Shruin Hazoret. Drops to 11. Ratadrabik triggers. Makes a Shruin Hazoret, well, Mondrak, number 1. I mean, we're one of those rare decks where we actively like Legend ruling away our own creatures. I think we should tap this Mondrak for mana first, though. So tap the Mondrak for mana, play the Mondrak, keep the untap Mondrak. Now we can use Mondrak to sack a Balloon Man and I guess a Shruin Hazoret to get some untapped Balloon Men. What is our second sack? I guess it's got to be Shruin Hazoret. All right, so Ratadrabik triggers. We get 8 Balloon Men. Now we can tap a Mondrak and Jolly Balloon Man. Copy the Ratadrabik. Oh my god. Okay, that's a few. That is a few Ratadrabiks. So keep. Oh boy. Okay. Unless they have Sunfall, I think we did it again. If they do have Sunfall, they're gonna make an even bigger incubator. Okay, we're putting it together. This deck is hilarious when it works. I will give it that. No, do we break Arena again? This doesn't seem that insane, right? There's only 3 Ratadrabik or 3 Mondraks. Oh, agree. The Gruyere, the funny thing is it does work. It just like takes too long to work and Arena's brain blows up. But it does work. We can see it happening on the stack. Trying to see if we can beat Arena. We're not trying to beat our opponents anymore. We're trying to Jolly Ratadrabik, but not crash Arena. That is the challenge. So far, every win is actually us drawing the game. Although it's like doubly annoying because we can see Arena working. It's like it takes too long to think, and then it puts the win on the stack, but first it draws the game before it resolves it. So all of those should be wins. Ooh. Aggro, eh? Well, let's see how this goes. Some frog action? I guess Might Caller can be non-frogs. It does work with other creature types too. Opponent. Ooh, rabbits maybe. Valley Quest Caller, gonna do some pumping. This should be interesting. That Valley Might Caller is gonna be a bit of an issue. Yeah, we gotta play an untap land here. Gonna have to kill something. The question is, do we have to kill the Lord, or do we have to kill the double Might Caller? I feel like our opponent is missing lands. Let's kill the Lord so I don't get to scry. I don't know exactly how we deal with double Might Caller, but our opponent not drawing lands is a Puppet Recruiter. Yeah, gonna grow the dorks, and down to 14, and those are some big 1-drops. Ugh, not the best time for a Funeral Room. I think we're pretty dead. Let's play the Relic of Legends. Are we literally dead this turn? 4, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, and they find the land too. They don't have any white mana other than the Cavern. Opponent gonna crack on the Paw Patch. And it's a Phineas. All right, so definitely a rabbit deck. Rabbit deck that's playing Valley Might Caller because it's the best 1-drop, even if it's not a rabbit. Opponent gonna crack again after milling the Phineas and finds a Night errant of Eos. Well, we're taking a beat down here. Wow, gonna mill that too. Bonnet. Well, I guess they have no white, right? Hits us to 4. Mondrak and Death. I mean, the good news is we get to bring in some sweepers, a little bit more removal, which should be helpful. A temporary lockdown can do some work against this deck. I don't know if our deck's that bad against aggro. I don't know if we ever beat mono red, but I think we might be able to keep up with rabbits, maybe. Rabbits can be pretty fast, too. Yeah, trim some of the flex slots. Bring in some removal. Aye. No lands, no keep. This is fine. I mean, it's fine, especially if we draw more lands and get 5 mana. But we have Get Lost and eventually a 5 mana Wrath. We'll see. If our opponent's if our opponent has too fast of a start, maybe it's too slow. But I think the Get Lost, being on the play in the Get Lost, we should have time, assuming we hit our land drops. Some green manas. And there's a Valley Might Caller. Well, ooh, there's Jolly Balloon Man to go there on Ratadrabik. The funny thing is, like, even without all the support pieces, just Jolly Balloon Man Ratadrabik is pretty good. It's not, like, immediately end the game good, like the full combo, but it does create this weird snowballing cascade of Ratadrabiks. Opponent going to ping us with a little desert there. Sure. Well, we're going to get lost, this Valley Might Caller. As we saw last game, that card gets really big really fast, and it has Trample. I don't play the land, and I think we're just going to play the Jolly Balloon Man as a blocker. The whole defensive Jolly Balloon Man with no other creatures on the battlefield. What do you got, friend? So many Valley Might Callers, my god. You could just stop drawing those. That would be fine. We would not complain. Opponent Valley Quest Caller. Valley Tribal over there. Well, play the land and get down the Ratadrabik. This sets up kind of a cool turn where next turn we can Wrath with a gift and we'll get a Ratadrabik copy of the Jolly Balloon Man and then we'll get back to Ratadrabik. Oh, about it. I'm gonna crack. I mean, we're probably gonna have to do that. I mean, I guess we're okay at the moment. We'll see. We'll see. We might be able to go one more turn. We can also just start using Jolly Balloon Man to copy Ratadrabik to make more Ratadrabiks. Phineas, all right. That probably 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I think that means we're gonna have to Wrath. The Phineas is gonna start drawing cards. They have 10 power, so I think we need to. Wrath now for sure. Opponent, soak up 3, drop to 14, draw land. I think this Phineas makes the Starfall invocation necessary. Yeah, we're gonna gift you a card. So we Wrath everything. We get back our Ratadrabik. We get a Jolly Balloon Man, thanks to Ratadrabik. Hit ya. All right, Jolly Ratadrabik versus Rabbits, the classic, the classic standard matchup. Can a single Jolly Balloon Man in Ratadrabik beat a whole forest full of bunnies? Magic questions you didn't know you needed answered on this week's Against Thoughts, but we're gonna answer them, like it or not. Paw Badge Recruiter with a baby, sure. And a seasoned Warren Guard. Well, Get Lost fine. I mean, let's do the thing. Jolly Balloon Man, copy Ratadrabik, get another Ratadrabik, sack the token Ratadrabik, and okay, now we have 2. Now we have 2 Ratadrabiks. It's not fast. Without additional support, it's not super fast, but I mean, that's kind of the synergy, right? That we have this Jolly Balloon Man that can copy a legendary Ratadrabik, and Ratadrabik likes legendary things dying, including copies of itself. That is, if there's one synergy in the deck, that's the baseline synergy. All the other stuff is to make that synergy more and more spectacular and get more and more value out of it. Opponent, getting in. I think we'll just take it. 3's not that much. We could block and get more Ratadrabiks. Ooh, hop to it. All right. We have a token making plan too. Gonna grow the bunnies with the village. Sure. We draw even more lands, unfortunately. Well, Jolly Balloon Man, copy Ratadrabik. Make Ratadrabik. Sack the Ratadrabiks. Make some more Ratadrabiks. I mean, we have Vigilance. And they have flying, so we might as well start chipping in for some damage. I think this is how we're gonna have to win the game, is by is by beating down with 2/2 red balloon Jolly Ratadrabik tokens. About it. What do you got, bunnies? What do you got? What a game. What a format. Oh, that's actually a good draw. Valley Quest Caller. The Lord is here. Good thing we have this Get Lost. I think that keeps us alive, though. We have 4 blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers. Yeah, we're not dead. We would like to not waste our non-token Ratadrabiks, or our non-legendary Ratadrabiks. Well, I think we just blow up the Lord. Oh yeah, Paw Patch. Gonna do Paw Patch things. At least we're doing it before we block, so we know we can figure out where we need to block. So opponent gonna grow the Paw Patch, gonna grow the Paw Patch. Lord off the battlefield. Oh, we're gonna have to do a lot of blocking, aren't we? We can go all the way to 1, as long as we don't die. So block here, we're gonna take 1. Block there. We take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we go to 4. I think that's fine. And then the Ratadrabik dying will make more Ratadrabiks. Actually, we can just Plaza too. Maybe we just Plaza. I think that's fine. Kill the stuff. And now we can, I don't think we win quite. What a weird, this has been by far the fairest game we've played. We might actually, oh, that's big and tramply, and it's coming down right now. Oh, even we keep drawing these lands. These lands are not helping. Well, copy Ratadrabik. Make more Ratadrabiks. Keep a Ratadrabik. All right, make some more. I think we may have punted a bit. I think we double punted. So definitely should have attacked with the Ratadrabiks there to hit our opponent to 1. I don't think it's really gonna matter because if we survive, we're just gonna lethal our opponent next turn. But they do have vigilance, so we definitely should have just swung. I was thinking about a previous punt, and as I was thinking about the previous punt, I managed to pull off a second punt. I think the punt though that I was thinking about is I think we should have just let the Ratadrabik die the turn before to get more copies of it, because then I think we might have just been able to straight up win last turn. Well, here they come, Ratadrabik. I mean, a lot of stuff's going to die, but that's going to include this Ratadrabik, which is going to replenish itself. And then I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have the Jolly Balloon Man. So we just win, right? We just win. We got there. Huh. Well, there were some punts along the way, but we have successfully won a game without crashing arena. That is a big takeaway. The punts, yes, whatever, but we did it. It is possible to finish a game. I guess the solution is we need to not combo. We need to like mini combo. Yeah, let's run it back. We are attempting to actually, finally, in match number 5, win a game. Wow, can we keep this? Actually win a match with this deck. I think we keep this based purely on the power of Temporary Lockdown. 6 lands is a lot, and I hope we draw some action, but Temporary Lockdown is, I think, our single best card against rabbits. So we're just gonna trust that this Temporary Lockdown is gonna keep us alive while you find some action. Opponent, Cavern on Rabbit. And a Paw Patch recruit. All right, land number 7. That is always a downside, right, of keeping a land heavy hand is there's always a risk that you just draw more lands, and that's when things start to go bad. Opponent. Yep. And, ooh, there's a Phineas. Well, our opponent's a furb away from having a TV show. Let's grab a Fabled Passage. And, oh, land number 8. I mean, we can't get played too much because we chose to keep the 6th lander, but I was really hoping our first draws would be non-lands. I was really hoping that down to 13. Oof. Well, there's a non-land. That is a room, our Blood Artist reanimation room, which we might just play. I think because we kept a hand leading on this Temporary Lockdown, we really need max value out of this Temporary Lockdown, or we're going to be in trouble. So we need to get every ounce. We need our opponent to play another card or two. Okay, hop to it. That is good. That is good. Getting rid of the hop to is really good because they did get to draw a card with their Phineas. Ooh, Kemble's actually hilarious against this deck. Kemble, it's in our deck to be a finisher with our combo because we make so many tokens, but it is actually just good against decks that make tokens because we get them for free. Well, we're at 7, our opponent's at 21. Our hand has 4 more lands in it. Opponent. Oh, Warren War Leader. Okay, that one's scary. LSL Core is actually pretty sweet here. LSL Core lets us trade with the Warren War Leader. And we get to gain a little life. All right, well, LSL core, Kemble, back up to 8. So if our opponent trades, we will definitely just trade the LSL core, especially since we actually have enough... we have enough mana we've drawn already that we're going to be able to unlock this Rise of the Dark Realms room at some point. Land. And hop to it. Thank you, opponent. We would also like 3 rabbits. Man, it's so tempting to emote, but I can't bring myself to do it. Yeah, I don't even know if our opponent should play that. Yeah, I guess I get to put the counters on it, so I guess it does make sense. I mean, we don't mind 3 rabbits and a bunch of life. Non-land. We have all the lands we need for literally the rest of the game. Well, Druin Hazoret, we will play it. Gain a life. Does not have haste because we drew so many lands, but next turn maybe. Are we gonna make some tokens? I think you should make some tokens, opponent. How about another hop to it? Yeah, all right. Well, we'll take a bat. That's fine. That's fine. Is Kemble just good? Maybe we should just be playing more Kembles. There might be enough token production going on in the standard that we can just like play Kemble as a card and look at all the free, more than half of our board is just from our opponent giving us tokens thanks to this Kemble. Wow, opponent going with the big attack. We're also back up to 15. We were on the edge there a minute ago, but we're back up to 15. So we get to block. Yeah, let's take 6. Sure. Gain a life with the funeral room. LSL core down. Balloon Man. No Ratadrabik, though. I guess we play the Jolly Balloon Man. That gives us vigilance on the Druin Hazoret. Well, let's spin it to win and see if we can find Ratadrabik. If we can find Ratadrabik, we might be able to combo kill. Well, I mean, we're definitely taking Ratadrabik. Actually, can we combo kill right from here? Probably not. We don't have a relic or anything. We don't have a Mondrak. We don't have a sack outlet. So I don't think we literally win the game here, like this turn. But I think this is going to mean that we do end up winning this game. So copy Ratadrabik with the Jolly Balloon Man. Get a token copy. Keep the original. Gain a bunch of life. The room is finally paying off. Drain you, gain some life. Funeral room, you drain you, gain some life. Pass the turn. We might win a game. We might, I know, we've had several wins that were actually arena crashing, but this time, we might actually see our opponent's life total go down to 0 because we did not draw Mondrak. Opponent might Caller and going to grow it. I mean, opponent's at 10. Wow. Really? I don't know about that attack. That seems aggro. Opponent, maybe they're just giving up. That also makes sense. Opponent gives us the GGs. We will do a little bit of blocking. Just a little off the top. Well, with our opponent not having any blockers, and we get to drain them with the funeral room down to 7, and then Kemble down to 6, and we get another bat token. I mean, this has got to be game. Well, that's for fun. For fun, we'll just make a Druin Hazoret or a few Druin Hazorets, and drain ya, and drain ya, and drain ya. And go to combat, and swing, hit ya. And I don't even think we get to cast, like, wow, we whiffed. We should never whiff with this. Well, take a LSL core. Doesn't really matter. We're just going to win from the bats. Take a LSL core, and yeah, we just win with combat damage. It's possible. It is possible to actually finish a game with this deck. Well, that's what happens when, you try to make a billion balloons. So what do we land this week about Jolly Ratadrabik balloon combo for standard? And record-wise, the deck isn't especially competitive. Technically, we have a 17% win rate, although really, it's a little bit better than that because most of our wins didn't count as wins because they crashed arena before we technically could win the game. But even if you included all of the draws where we were winning as actual wins in the stats, we're still at like 25-30%. So as far as being competitive, the deck's just not really consistent enough. We need to find Jolly Balloon Man, and we need to find Ratadrabik, and we would really like to find like a Mondrak or a Relic of Legends, and we need our opponent not to sunfall us and kill all of our stuff. So there's just a lot of hoops to jump through to actually do the balloon thing. The good news is My god, do we make a lot of balloons. When we do find all of our pieces, this deck just does ridiculously hilarious things. We actually really truly made billions of balloons with this deck. If it wasn't for the fact Arena had the token limit and would just crash, so we couldn't actually see them all in the battlefield, but the deck does really spectacular things that like 25% of the time that it actually does its thing. The rest of the time, it's kind of clunky and not especially strong, but the good games with the deck are absolutely hilarious. So anyway, that is Jolly Ratadrabik balloons. Again, if you're looking to rank up or whatever, don't spend your wild cards on this deck. It is a true against the odds deck where 25% of the time or whatever, you're going to do this amazing thing, and then the other 75% of the time, you're kind of going to get crushed. But that is Jolly Ratadrabik balloon combo. That's been our against odds for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Looking for even more magic? Well, check out last week's Against the Odds where we shredded some hedges in Standard, or maybe the video where we talked about the greatest plays in the history of Magic the Gathering.